here today, and I know it's a captive audience, and again, all but one person, I guess. When I said, does anybody not hunt, did that guy raise his hand? Did I scare that guy away? Or was it time for his medicine? What's going on here? I want that guy to come back. He was adorable. What the hell? Okay. So I know you were told this is going to be a shooting demonstration, but I'm probably not the guy to do a shooting demonstration because I'm not the world's greatest shot. In fact, I'm not even the world's goodest shot. But if you look at me, 63 years, clean and sober, I don't buy chicken. Never bought chicken. The Nugent family has never bought meat since 1969. We only eat what we kill ourselves. In fact, last month, with a couple of buddies of mine, with my trusty bow and arrow, I sent 1/2 ton of venison jerky to the heroes of the U.S. military in Afghanistan. And word already back from the front lines that the more Nugent meat you eat, the more they like to kill the bad guys. Say, thank you, Uncle Ted. So this was promoted as an archery demonstration, but way before I shoot my bow, not only here in front of you, I'll shoot that deer, but every day of my life, because I'm really hyper. You know the song Wang Dang Sweet Poontang? I wrote that. Some of the older folks are going, some of the country guys are going, which is what country guys do. But I play the most intense rock and roll since the history of noise. My band is so good, it's stupid. We play such intense rock and roll 60, 70 days a year that I can't believe I can even stand up here in front of you after all these years. But because the rock and roll and because my intense lifestyle is so hyper, that for me to put my arrow in the vitals of a big game animal with any consistency at all is one of life's greatest mysteries. By the way, this hasn't been cited in, has it? Okay. So, I'm going to pull off a miracle for you. You ready? In just a moment, you're all going to disappear. The archers out there know what I mean. Because when I start to draw my bow, nothing exists. Any archers know what I'm talking about out there? It is the mystical flight of the arrow. And I'm going to have to calm down after flying here and trying to be funny with funny people. But if you don't bow hunt, and if you do bow hunt, I'm sure most of the bow hunters out here are better shots than I am. I shoot a real simple rig. In fact, just 3 years ago, for the first time, for all practical purposes, for the first time in my life, I put sights and a peep on my bow. I always shot instinctively. I always shot bare bow. And I developed target panic. Anybody know what I'm talking about? It hurts. So those that do bow hunt, and I understand, or most of you are from the western U.S., right? Most of you are from out west. Do you know that in Michigan I have unlimited deer tags? Do you know that in Texas I have unlimited deer tags? It ain't right. Mrs. Nugent held me around her arms the other day. She said, honey, you ain't right. I said, damn straight. So I get to hunt a lot so I can miss a lot. But I don't miss a lot these days because I've developed a system with a lightweight bow. I'm shooting 48 pounds. This bow is probably 4 or 5 years old. It's a simple single cam Martin Firecat. It started out at 53 pounds, but I shoot it so much it's down to under 50 pounds now. But what I want to emphasize is those that want to get into archery and those that are already into archery, if you have to draw your bow like that, that's not a good bow for you. If you got to draw your bow like that, get a bow that fits you better. If you can't draw your bow, oh my God, it's Ted Nugent, he's pointing an arrow at us. You know, they tell me I'm due to snap. The bow is the least of your worries. When you shoot a bow, you got to be able to draw it back without lifting your line of sight. I don't care what anybody says, you just got to, unless all you're shooting at is paper or foam. So the first thing I learned, probably around 1960, was that if you got to go through any contortions at all, it scares away the animal and you may have to buy chicken. My wife, Shemaine, have you seen my wife, Shemaine, on Spirit of the Wild? Damn. She ain't right. She shoots a 38-pound bow and kills everything. 38-pound bow, big eland in Africa, big 1,600-pound zebras in Africa. They're shooting a draft horse. 38 pounds. Big kudu. Big wildebeest. The wildebeest are as tough as any animal gets. She kills them all. So if you're shooting a bow that you struggle at all to draw back, it's too heavy and it's unnecessary. 38 pounds, guys. I'm shooting 48. I hung up my 200th big game animal yesterday morning, this season. That's why I can send all that protein. Which, by the way, I have to comment on that. Some guys go, hey, that Nugent's a game hog. Doesn't need to shoot that many animals, one is enough. Shut up. Are any of you not aware that bureaucrats are spending tens of millions of your tax dollars hiring government shooters to kill your lions and your bears and your elk and your moose? Is anyone in here not aware of that? Okay, well, where I live, they don't have to hire sharpshooters. I kill them. And if you live somewhere where your bureaucrats have the audacity to hire sharpshooters to kill your deer, or the USDA hunters, if you're allowing that, you're goofy. A buddy of mine this morning in Colorado killed a lion. I won't tell you how many he's killed this year, but he's killing lions where we, the people who own the land the lions are on, are not allowed to hunt the lions. But the tax dollars will be extracted from our paychecks to pay him to kill the lions only after he can confirm that the lions have destroyed millions of dollars in livestock and personal property. Any questions, you Barack fans out there? Do you realize how sick this is? That in Colorado, we the people who own the national forests, that's our ground, those are our bears, but the government won't let us use hounds or bait. They won't let us hunt in the springtime, but they will extract more tax dollars from our pocket and pay my buddy to kill bears all year long using bait and hounds. This is insanity, Barack. Were some of you not aware of this? That the government gets to kill stuff in methods that they forbid us to do? Is anybody not aware? Is anybody sleeping out there? Are there any Barack fans out there? So, as I celebrate my hunting lifestyle, especially the mystical flight of the arrow, that doesn't hold a candle to the dynamic of how you have to get more involved. And I think the reason I've become such a fighter for my God-given individual right to hunt, fish, and trap, and if you ever hear anybody saying that hunting is a privilege, slap them. It is not a privilege. It's my right to eat God's meat. Any question?